Friday. We're here at Honda Doble Motorcycles in Causden. And what have we got for you today? Well, we've gone a bit scootery again. So, yeah, don't worry, normal service will resume next week when we'll be taking out the Transalp and, something else we might be taking out next week as well, but I'll save that for next week. So, yeah, today, the ADV350. And the reason I'm taking this out is because there's such a demand on the XADV750. And obviously I had the Forza out, 750 out this week as well. So, yes, I was very excited, and quite a few people have asked to see what the 350 like and how it compares to the XADV750. So yeah, today we're going to find out. So I've been quite excited to try this bike, and this is a brand new 2025 model. So yes, this one's got a top box as well, which is handy, and it's keyless, which I like. Right, so let's stop waffling and actually get on the bike, shall we? There you go. Well, these step-throughs aren't very step-through nowadays, are they? That's for sure. Righty-ho. Here we go. Nice screen. So, this is the updated 2025 model, but we'll waffle on about that when we start moving. Oh, this is so smooth. Obviously, this is a CVT transmission, where we've obviously had the DCT on the XADV and the Forza. So yeah, it makes a bit of a change. Oh, it is very smooth gearbox. Yes, there's been a bit of demand for this ADV350. So let's get a bit of housekeeping out the way, shall we? So this is about 30 horsepower, about 31 newton meters of torque. Oh, she's nippy. Very smooth. So what are the changes for the 2025 model? Well, it has had updated rear shocks, which apparently has made the rear a little bit softer apparently. I think it's got a couple of internal exhaust changes and a new screen. So yeah, it's had or updated screen anyway. So yeah, they're the changes, not huge amounts of changes for 2025. Yeah, so obviously not an electric screen with this, it's just a pull up, pull down job. I am noticing a bit of, and funny enough, I spoke to a chap called Jason before I came out on the bike. He's just test ridden this bike. He's looking at buying one to go on the back of his new camper van that he's buying. He's just actually bought and ordered another Goldwing. He's a bit of a Goldwing fanatic. I think he's had pretty much every Goldwing going, and so yeah, he's taken this bike out just before me, so we had a bit of a chat about it. He enjoyed it, but he did pick out something that I've already picked up actually, oddly, is you can feel the wind coming through onto your legs. You can't feel it anywhere else, but the wind does sort of come around and yeah, just sort of roll onto your legs actually. So in the summer it'd be quite nice, but I think a little bit of a chill. Brakes are really good. Brakes are really good. This gearbox is super smooth. As I say, I've been trying out the old DCTs of late, which I really like. What's happening to me? I've changed. So yeah, so I'm going to try and take it the similar sort of route I took the XADV750 to give a real sort of fair comparison between the two. Yeah, that screen's nice and clear. I mean, they're all pretty much similar in the range of Honda at the moment. I like these mirrors as well. They're very similar to on the Forza and on the XADV. So yes, I like the keyless stuff as well. That's really good. Heated grips on this as well. So I think there's around about £5,800 new, which, to be fair, for all the kit you get, is pretty reasonable. It feels very light as well. It's 186 kilos, and I think the XADVs are around about 237, 240, so considerable difference in weight. So yeah, if you are looking to be around town more than anything, then the 350 may well be more up your street than the XADV750, which in fairness is considerably more expensive as well. So yeah, this has got a nice extra of the top box on, which is handy. And the other thing about this bike as well, it's got larger under-seat storage. This newer model comes with a light underneath the seat as well, which is useful. So yeah, larger under-seat storage was something I complained about a little bit with the Forza and the XADV, where you basically just got enough space to get one helmet, where yeah, I would like to have the possibility to have two, but I mean, we'll look at all that under the seat and all that good stuff shortly when we pull over and have a good walk around. You know, I like to get out on the bike first of all and get my sort of thoughts that way. So yeah, 330cc engine. I mean, it's the same platform really, engine-wise, that they use in the Forza 350 and the SH350. But obviously this is a more sort of utilitarian type motor scooter, where you can, well, they say you can do a bit of off-roading. I mean, they've got sort of dual sport-esque tyres. But yeah, as I say, you're not going to be doing any Graham Jarvis stuff on it, that's for sure. But yeah, if you live down a sort of dusty trail, or you know, a slight sort of muddy green lane, then it will be useful. But yeah, I think that's, you know, I think styling wise it looks fantastic. The ride is really good as well. That's not something I tend to mention too much with scooters as well, but it really does ride very well. And it's not too soft either, because you find some of these are a bit of a soggy bottom, where this is not at all. You know, the LED indicators and all that good stuff, we like all that. I just love the look. I like it in black as well, actually. I did see one in Doble that they had a red one as well, which was nice. So how does it feel compared to the XADV? To be honest, they feel totally different. That might be a bit of a surprise to some people, because obviously they're compared so closely, but I think it's the gearbox and obviously the engine is totally different as well. So yeah, they don't feel too similar, if I'm honest. As I say, I tend to not watch reviews of bikes. I tend to just have my own opinion. But yeah, as I say, I've ridden the Forza 750, XADV750, and now obviously this. Yeah, and I can say that it is a bit different. So what we'll do with this, we'll take it on the motorway, because as we know, this is more of a town type bike than it is a motorway bruiser. But now and again you're going to be caught out and you're going to need to use the motorway, so I think it's a good idea to take it on the motorway and see what we think. And you know, can we comfortably do 70 miles an hour, or is it uncomfortable, and are we getting battered by the wind? Well, we're going to find out. What I do like is the lightness of this bike. That's something you do notice. And look, let's be honest, 186 kilos is hardly featherweight, but it doesn't feel heavy. But yes, I can feel a bit of wind deflection coming in on my legs, which I didn't feel on any of the other scoots. But you probably can get wind deflectors for that. So it was raining earlier, so now it's nice and, well, drying anyway. Let's give a little bit of a blip past and see if it is. I'll tell you what, she does pick up all right. The wind on the legs doesn't get any worse, actually, funny enough. You think it would, but it doesn't really seem to feel too bad. I'm not being knocked about or bullied by the wind at all. I'm really not. My legs are getting a bit chilly, but apart from that, if I had some sort of wind deflectors on there on the legs, it'd be really comfortable. Yes, this is a rubbishy bit of motorway here as well. Well, like they all are, really. But our road tax keeps going up, but let's not get political. I'm not being hit in the chest by wind at all either. Yeah, so if you are forced to do a motorway run, you're not going to be left wanting power-wise either. Yes, it doesn't get up and go like the Forza 750 or the XADV750, but no one's expecting it to. And this thing can do insane MPG as well. I think they're sort of quoting around like 80 plus MPG, real world as well. Well, we could probably check that out on the screen. We'll have a faff with the screen as well. So yeah, so this switchgear, it's got self-cancelling indicators as well, which is another upgrade for this year. I think we pretty much covered all the basis for the 2025 model now. The running boards as well, they feel a little bit bigger than they did on the XADV, because that was one of my little gripes as well, that the running boards were, yeah, felt a little bit tight. And obviously the other thing with the XADV as well I didn't like was it had the foot pegs, which always got in the way when you try to put the centre stand down. They sort of tugged into my motorbike jeans, which was a bit of a nuisance. But yeah, so far my only real gripe is, yeah, the wind on the legs. But as I say, a wind deflected job would probably cover that. I will mess about with the screen as we go on as well. This is on its highest setting at the moment. Yeah, but there's a lot to be said for a CVT transmission. Obviously the XADV and the 4s are a chain drive. It's obviously belt drive. But yes, if I was commuting into town, it doesn't feel big at all. It feels like a 125, I'll be honest. But that's the great thing, even about the bigger stuff now, it even feels, you know, quite small. But it feels planted. It's so quiet and so smooth. Yes, and the seat height is low as well. So if you're worried about, are you going to be able to touch the floor, is it going to be a little bit high, because obviously that sort of off-road-esque appeal the bike has, no, it feels fine. Shower forks there as well, very nice. It does feel a little bit more special than just your run-of-the-mill scoot as well. I know it's silly, but that little off-roady terrain type thing does, I think, make it that little bit cooler. But maybe that's just marketing and I've been suckered into that. Alright, let's do a bit of a dual carriage run up a slight hill here. So we are currently at 35 miles an hour. Pull the throttle. Buffeting, buffeting. The good thing with sort of the power this bike has is you can use all of it, whereas obviously its bigger siblings, not really. You're not able to all the time so much. Obviously on these sort of roads you can, but yeah, around town you are just pull the throttle back on this, and there's a little less thought needs to go into it. Obviously this is A2 compliant as well, which is useful if you haven't got the full license. Or if you've just got an automatic license as well. This is yes, as twist and go as they come. No extra mode buttons like you have on the DCT to come up and down the gears. What I like about this bike as well is the simplicity of the switchgear, whereas on the on its siblings there's a lot going on, and sometimes, yeah, you just want the bare minimum. Let's try these self-cancellers. Yes, lovely. Useful little thing, self-cancelling indicators, especially if you're one to leave your indicator as you drive down the straight road for 3 miles. Oh, they're always a bit wary here. Okay, well, you've given it a good little run. Let's get off the bike and have a bit of a mosey around and itching. I know it sounds sad, but I want to look under the seat. Cool, how things have changed for me, right? I was always worried about O-Ling suspension and this and that, and now I'm worried about how big under-seat storage is on a scooter. Hold the line, cooler, hold the line. Okay guys, I think we did a bit of a walk around video of the ADV350. I do like it in black. Under certain lights you see a sort of bit of a sparkle, which I like. Yeah, so they're sort of cross-terrain-esque tyres. I do like the handguards as well, and they do make a bit of a difference. Like the LED sort of running indicator lights as well, which is pretty cool. There's that CVT transmission down there, belt drive. Yeah, so those shower rear shocks are an update for 2025. Centre stand was nice and easy to get on and off the bike, which is a plus point. As I say, 186 kilos. It's not a featherweight, but it doesn't feel massively heavy. So this is your step through. Are they really step throughs nowadays? I mean, I don't know. And the thing is, when you try and get on the bike, you don't want to scuff here either. So I'd be a bit worried about that as I'm trying to put my foot through. So that's something to probably keep an eye on there. But the seat's very comfortable. Everything from Honda at the moment seems quite firm, so that's quite nice. Screen does the job, as I say, just maybe a wind deflector, or I don't know if there is an aftermarket thing I'll look into to see to keep the wind off your legs, because it is quite prevalent. But I suppose it is quite windy today, as you can hear. This one comes with a top box, which is a very decent size, to be fair. But let's look underneath the seat, shall we? Aha, here we go. So, as you can see, quite a bit larger than the XADV and the Forza 750. You can get, well, you probably get a helmet and an open face helmet in there if you're lucky, but definitely get one helmet, and there's a divider there as well, which is quite nice. This one comes with a light in now as well there for an update for 2025, so you get a light underneath here, which is good. So yeah, a bit more space, which is always welcome. I think a big scoot really should have space for two helmets, but that's just me. So yes, I do like the look of it, but how does it compare to the 750? To be honest, they feel so totally different, and there's probably going to be a few people who are going to disagree with me on this, but they do. The XADV is a motorbike in a scooter frame. This is a scooter in a scooter frame. So yeah, that's probably my summary. Probably not the you know, the smoothest or sharpest way to explain it, but to be honest, that's pretty much nail on the head in my opinion anyway. So yeah, they're very different bikes. I do like it. It's very light, it's very manoeuvrable, and all those other cliches you hear for a scooter, but I do love the shower rear suspension there. It does look cool. And I love the look of it as well. It's just I've been a little bit spoilt with the Forza 750 and the XADV750, which to be fair, isn't a fair comparison. This is £5,900 new, where, you know, you're talking 10.5 for the Forza and a little bit more for the XADV750, but it's nice to put them in this league anyway. It's, you know, it's such an easy bike to ride. But I mean, we need to do a bit of town riding now, really. That's the main thing, just to see what we think. But let's have a look at the screen anyway while we're here as well. See, I do like the way the little Honda logo there. So let's have a bit of a fudge around here. So you can mess about with your heated grips and all that sort of stuff. So this has traction control, ABS and all that good stuff as well. So yeah, there's plenty of things. What I do like about this as well is the switchgear is so much easier to transverse than the older siblings. There's not a lot going on, so which is a plus point in some ways. It's nice just to have, yeah, just a basic look. Alright, we're going into a different function there, display. So we can change all the different display apps. We can change date and time lane. So there's maintenance, equipment, system information. So yeah, there's more sort of user type stuff. That's it, which is handy, I suppose. But to be honest, you're going to set it to how you want it, and then that's it. So yes, not tons going on in the info display as there is obviously with the older siblings, but that's why you pay pretty much nearly half the price. So yeah, if you want a basic scooter, look, it's not even really fair, is it? Because it's not basic, but more basic than the twice the price siblings. And yeah, you're not bothered about all the extra whiz bangs, DCT and all that sort of stuff, then you're not going to go wrong with something like this. I mean, it looks, I mean, to the layman, the 350 looks very similar to the XADV, so, you know, and that extra top box is always coming handy as well. So yeah, I'm complaining about you can only get two, you know, you can't get two helmets. Well, you get the top box, especially if you've got a pillion as well, so you can rest against that. It's got a seat rest against that as well, which is nice. So So yes, first impressions are very good. I do like it. I do like it a lot. So let's get back on it and do a bit of town riding and see what we think. Alright, okay, let's get back on the bike then. We're going to do a little bit of shopping. See how much stuff we can get underneath the seat. So this is what I was talking about earlier on, about when you want to get on the bike, it is, you know, as a step through, there isn't really a lot of space. And I think you will end up banging that, which is a bit annoying. Oh. Beep. On the road again. You have to hold in the brake quite hard actually to engage the starter. Some scooters are just like that actually. Had a few like that in the past. Some you just have to touch very gently, and others you have to really give a bit of a squeeze. Rosie. Nosy Rosie. So you didn't even disturb a cat, that's how quiet this bike is. That's my father. Do you want a baccy?
Yeah.
I'll see you in a bit. Right, yes, so we're going to do a bit of shopping. The good lady has given me a list of things I need. As I say, today I'm using this bike exactly as I use the XADV, so I can give you a fair... wow. A fair assessment of it. Yeah, as I said on the walk around, it feels very different from the XADV, and it's not fair really. So is it fair to compare them? Price wise, no, but you know, one's called an ADV750, one's called an ADV350, so they are going to get compared whether you like it or not. I mean, it's, but yes, one is twice the price of the other one. So am I surprised that the XADV750 is quite a bit better? Well, no, but is it twice as good? I found myself wanting the XADV750 when I was riding it, and I'll be honest, I haven't really felt like that with this at the moment. But we were going to do a bit of town riding, and we're going to see how it compares. I do prefer the brakes on the 750 as well. Don't worry, I will stop making a comparison between the two soon, but it's just quite tough because I've been riding that bike quite a bit, and obviously I've been riding the Forza quite a bit, and obviously they're the same sort of platform, so... Alright, let's go and do some hopping. S-hopping. I've already forgotten what she's asked me to get. I know the cat needs food. That cat lives a better life than I do. Alright, let's go and show off next to this. Show him a real scoot. Ooh. Nice and easy to get the steering lock on, that's for sure. Righty-ho, hold the line, caller. Do. There you go, look at all that space for all my rubbish I've just bought. Tons of space, excellent. That's the thing about a CVT gearbox, is it's so smooth. And with the DCT you can hear it in action now and again. You can hear like little actuators, where obviously this you don't at all. Yeah, so as I was saying before, if you have if an XADV750 is on your list, I don't think they're really a comparable bike, even though they share the same three letters, the ADV part. That's about as that's about all they do share, really, if I'm honest. So yeah, don't go thinking you're getting a cut price XADV750 with this bike, because you're not. But it is a fantastic little bike, and to be honest, it's a bit of a bargain. I know that may sound silly, £6 for a scooter, but everything's expensive nowadays. And it's cheaper than the competition as well. I mean, some of the competition, like the Yamahas, have 400cc or whatever else, but I've not been sort of left wanting around town for power. Even on the motorway, it'll easily crank up to 80, 90. I think where this bike comes in is it's all you need. Where the XADV, I know I should stop going on about it and comparing the two, but is that little bit more than you'd ever need as well. So, I mean, if you are just commuting around town, I don't think you can go wrong with the 350. But if it's your only bike, and then between the two you've got no choice but to have the XADV750. So, but yes, that's me comparing them, because to be honest, this is what this video is about. You know, whether they're a direct competitor or not. You know, a lot of people have asked me to test ride the 350 because they've seen the 750. Oh, that's nice, GT4. Seen the video and they wanted me to try out the 350. Right, heated grips, nice. Oh, we can see how much fuel we got left, which is nice. See our MPG as well on the clocks there, which is good. Yeah, so you don't have the same sort of sport modes you get, you know, with the gravel and all that good stuff, and the rain modes and all that. You don't have all that. I mean, to be honest, you've only got 30 horsepower anyway, so if you're feeling like you need the 30 horsepower to be dialed back a bit, then yeah, I'd be a bit surprised if anyone felt that way. Yeah, you can make progress well around these sort of town roads. Yes guys, so I've got a bit of an idea for when we get to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to do a trip away on a Goldwing. I've got a couple of ideas where I want to go, but we're quite a way off those 1,000 subs at the moment, so that's where you guys come in. So if you haven't already subbed, if you could, that would be fantastic. I'll be lying to you if I said I don't check it on a regular occurrence, because I check it all the time. So yeah, I have such lovely comments, as I always say in all my videos, which I'm very lucky for. So yeah, some more subscribers. If I can get to that 1,000, then I'll do a trip away, do a bit of a celebratory trip away on a Goldwing. Maybe we'll go to the Cotswolds, or yeah, maybe even further afield than that. So yeah, if you've got any ideas for a great trip, then stick that in the comments as well. Any fantastic roads that you've been on recently, or if you don't know already, I'm based in South London, so anything away from the London area is always considered good. So yeah, that's the idea for the 1,000 subs, so please get subscribing, it would help me out a lot. Yeah, and we'll get that video in the way. It'll be a longer extended video as well, and I'll probably go with a friend of mine, so it'll end up with a few drinky poos in the evening, a few beverages. Obviously not too many, so we don't feel great in the morning, but enough to have a good time, that's for sure. Yes, and I'll show you yeah, I'll show you where we're going to go on that trip, and yeah, I'll take you with me on it. So yes, you are invited along to that adventure. I don't know how long that will be until I get to the 1,000 subs, but we're getting up there. I'll also be doing a Transalp video. That will be coming as well, so if you're interested in the Transalp 750, then also probably a good time to subscribe, because I'll be doing that video in the next few days, and that will go live for your viewing pleasure. Be quite interested to see what that bike's like, actually. Taking out the Africa Twin, which I really like that bike. Yeah, we've been quite Honda heavy of late, and obviously that hasn't gone missing on me. So yeah, there's a few other bikes I want to be test riding, non-Honda as well. But yeah, as you know, I'm a bit of a fan of Hondas. I like things that just work, that screw together well, and obviously that's where they fit in. I do like this little cover over the screen as well, because it does keep the sun out. So what do I like and what do I dislike, as we do a bit of a conclusion on this little 350? Well, let's start with the negatives first, shall we? Let's get those out of the way. Negative wise, it's the buffeting on the legs, really. That's probably one thing I'm not a big fan of. You can feel that, but I'm sure you can get wind deflectors for that. So it's not a major thing, but worth the mention. I like the underseat storage to be a little bit deeper, but obviously you can only go do so much with where the engine's positioned and whatever else. They've given you every inch of it. So yeah, as I say, I always moan, I like to be able to get 2 helmets under a seat, but you can get one and an open face helmet, I would say. Shopping easily, no problem at all. So yeah, I can't really think of any other negatives. Obviously it's not laden with toys, so yeah, there's not, which also can be a plus point, because some people just want to jump on a bike and ride it, right? And they don't want to be faffing around with different modes and whatever else, so that could be considered a plus point. But other pluses, it's so smooth, it's so quiet, it's so comfortable, the seat's really comfortable. Oh, actually, one other negative point I'll say as well is, obviously being a step through, which it isn't really, you know, isn't the easiest thing to get your leg through without kicking the side there, which I've tried not to do, and luckily I haven't, but you do have to concentrate on that. But yeah, that's step throughs for you nowadays. They're not really step throughs, but yeah, apart from that, yeah, positives, yeah, it just handles really well. It's very quiet, very smooth. And if you did want to do a little bit of soft roading, we'll call it, we won't call it off-roading, we'll call it soft roading, then yes, you easily could. I love the MPG, I just love how cheap it will be to run. Yeah, all the stuff you'd probably want a scooter for, to be honest. I mean, are we going a bit overboard with everything now? Like, you know, looking at the older siblings, or sorry, the bigger siblings, you know, they're laden with toys and laden with this and that, and do we need that? Well, if you're just I want a bike that does the job, well, this is it. So yes, it has been a comparison between the older siblings today, but I have sort of made that clear though in the title as well, because a lot of people wanted me to compare the two, so they've been compared. Is it a fair comparison? In my opinion, no, it's not. No, I don't think if you're looking at one, you'd be looking at the other, or should be looking at the other, to be honest. So yeah, that's my take on it. Would I buy one? Well, if I was in the oh, hello, GTB. Yeah, sorry, got a little bit sidetracked there. The carbon fibre on the steering wheel would probably cost more than this whole bike on that GTB, but there you go. But yes, would I buy one? Well, my use case for one would be, I'm only doing town riding into work, into the city from where I live, which is South London. So yes, then it'd make 100% sense. So yeah, as a commuter tool only, yes. But as a bike I'd use on the weekends and for touring and other stuff, then no. If I wanted that, then yes, I'd get the XADV or the Forza 750. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much summary of it. Really enjoyed the bike. I hope you enjoyed the video. So please like, please subscribe. Boring to say, boring to hear, but it really does help me out. So yeah, if you could, that'd be great. Yes, and join me in the next video when I'll be coming down to Doble to test ride the Transail. And I'll be doing well, there's a few other bikes in the pipeline as well, but we'll go through that at another time. So yes, for now guys, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed making this video for you. I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.